Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the first ever edition of the Shooters Lounge podcast. Coming to you every couple of weeks on a Monday evening. We're going to be discussing everything going on with the NBA season, the league we love, the sport we love. We'll be having different guests every couple of weeks, hopefully. Get some fresh faces on the go with some new opinions, but got to kick off the first show with the OG, my man. Adam the Philosopher, thanks for coming down, man. Really appreciate it, bro. How's things?
No doubt, Matt, man. Big up. Happy to be here for you to open for your tip off. You know what I mean? For the Shooters Lounge. Everything cool, just biding time. It's October, so we're around the corner from the season. So I'm just happy to go. Yeah, man. Let's do it.
Absolutely, man. The honor is mine, mate, having you on the first show, dude. So
thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks very much for stepping up. Wouldn't be the same without you, bro. So what you been up to, man? Summer workouts, summer league. What's been happening, bro?
I've been trying to get back fit. My girls have been running me ragged, but that's dad life. But just work really. Enjoy the summer. I turned the big 4-0 this year. So I'm the Sean Kemp age in the Jordan year. You know what I mean? So, but apart from that, kind of excited that some of the news has been happening in the off season as well. So, and still planning to shoot off my own pod. Had some severe difficulties with content and news and stuff and what's not. So that's still on the way. Been doing some work with the Green Beige boys as well. So big up the Green Beige podcast.
Yeah, big up to Ken, man. Thanks for dropping in, bro. Nice one.
For sure. So been doing some work there too. So apart from that, like same old. What's about you?
Well, I can relate to trying to get a podcast off the ground, bro, because I've just had to do it myself. So trying to find out a lot of Googling on how to do stuff, and for us old statesmen, it doesn't come as naturally, this tech stuff, man. I don't know about you, mate, but
so true, true.
Trying to get the podcast off the ground, and you notice the new theme music. My mate Goose put that together, man. So shout out to him for sorting that out for me, man. Really appreciate it, because I had no idea how to do that or anything. So shout out to him, bro, for sorting that out for us. So just working and stuff in it, man. So
all right,
like you say, excited for the season. It's October. And now you start to get that little giddy feeling again that the season's around the corner, man. So looking forward to it, man. So we better get into it then, dude. We've got some topics we're going to try and cover. What's been going on this season. During the off season, should I say? There's been some big moves, hasn't there? Obviously free agency. Things like that. So, obviously Denver, the team to beat after winning last year. So,
are they really?
Hey, bro, if you're the champ, mate, you're a champ, then you got to beat. If you want to be the man, you got to beat the man, as Ric Flair put it, bro. So, they've got to be the team to beat. So, obviously, one of the main headlines from the off season, I'd have to say, was the Damian Lillard trade, the trade that rocked the NBA. Finally getting his way out of Portland. We all thought it was going to be Miami. It was a long, drawn-out saga. I don't know if you thought the same, bro.
You know what? I'm going to go on record here now if I didn't go on record before.
Hey, what better place is it to do it, bro? Go on the record.
There we go. First up in the Shooters Lounge on the record.
How we roll, bro.
Hot take number one. I wasn't convinced that he was going to Miami. I was never convinced that he was going to Miami. I know Miami was in the driver's seat, allegedly. That's where he wanted. That's where I wanted him. I wasn't convinced for a number of reasons. One, Damian Lillard is not what Miami needed. Miami just went to the finals. Miami just went to 2 finals in the last 3 seasons. Miami is not what. Sorry, for 3 seasons. 3 seasons. Yeah, because they went 2020 against LA. and this year 2023. So, and in both cases, against LA and against the Denver Nuggets, Damian Lillard is not what they needed, because Damian Lillard is a all-star, top 75 player ever. You know what I mean? Absolute like so talent, killer closer, and all that. Miami kind of got that in a Jimmy Butler, if you understand. And some might argue more, because obviously Jimmy Butler is a way better defender than Damian Lillard is.
I think it's pretty safe to say that, bro. I think. What do you reckon?
Yeah, he is. No, he is. And it's no slight against Damian Lillard. And that's for all the people that say that Damian Lillard don't play defense either. That's trash. But anyway, I will get back to that another time. Okay. What Miami needed was a big, because Bam Bam is not a center. Like, I tired. We had this discussion on previous podcasts. Bam Adebayo is not a center. He's a power forward. And it was exposed against Denver. Again, even more so than against the Los Angeles Lakers, because against LA, when they played LA, yes, they had Dwight too, they had McGee as well, but they were, for want of a better word, shells of their previous glories, especially Dwight, for argument's sake. But it was still a big body that Bam had to deal with. And he had AD. This time around, he had the Joker, Aaron Gordon. Michael Porter Jr. is also a 7-footer or next to near enough. He had, you know what I mean? So, and it exposed Miami. So what Miami needs is a big. That's what Miami needs. A half decent big to fill the lane, to be good on defense, and you know what I mean, to provide some sort of assistance on offense. For example, in the trade for Damian Lillard, if they were to acquire a certain DeAndre Ayton, that would be very, very interesting in Miami. But it didn't. So I'm not one that was thinking, he's going to go to Miami. Sorry, Miami fans, I wasn't thinking. Apart from that, and this is my bias and preference speaking now, you know how I feel about Zeus. You know how I feel about Zeus.
Oh, yeah. I think your history with Zeus is well documented, my friend.
So, with Dame Dollar, now with Zeus, the East is on notice.
Absolutely. That two-man game is scary, bro, isn't it? That is some scary stuff, bro.
Because now, Zeus doesn't have to take care of the ball as half as much as he did. That's one. Yeah. Two, he's not going to be required to shoot beyond 18 feet, like at all. Because guess what? They kept Chris Middleton as well.
Yeah.
And then no one can handle Zeus inside of 15 feet. No one can handle Zeus inside of 15 feet.
Yeah.
And Damian Lillard can shoot from 45.
And anywhere he wants, right? I think that's pretty much it, bro.
So I mean, let's that being said, Milwaukee is also the team to watch. Don't fumble the bag now, though. You know what I mean? This is not let's see how it goes this year. I mean, no. You know Milwaukee going for broke straight from the jump.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, do you take anything into where do you think Giannis kind of shot over the bow in the offseason when he said, I'm happy here at the moment, but, if maybe down the line it might change or something. Was that a kind of shot over the bow by Giannis, do you think? Or
I think so. Because guess what? He's already achieved everything in Milwaukee. Everything.
Yeah, I mean, he's delivered him a title, hasn't he?
Which they hadn't got since their last super big man, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, since the Lou Alcindor days, mate. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So for Giannis to say something like that, that puts my team, the Los Angeles Lakers, who are renowned for picking off a super all-star if he wants to leave. Oh, we can have you here.
Yeah.
When LA hears statements like that, The perfect response from Milwaukee, as far as I was concerned, was like, all right, you know what? We're going to toss in for Damian Lillard. It's fantastic that they got the Phoenix Suns involved, but it's also sad that they let go of Giroux, because I think letting go of Giroux, I don't want to call it a mistake. I don't think it's a mistake, but that's such an important piece. That was such an important piece to the Milwaukee Bucks. So to let go, but again, you got to give if you want to get a top 75 player. That being said, Giroux didn't even stay in Portland.
he wasn't even there a week, bro. He never even had a chance to get a house or nothing, bro. He was in a hotel. He's like, I ain't going to be here long. I think that was.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So and a lot of people are also ignoring what I think something to be good, not for you in Phoenix, not for you. Well, for you from the perspective of you get somebody away that's been mourning. But for Portland, for DeAndre Ayton, he's got a clean slate. As far as they're concerned, I don't want to hear no more excuses from him. Because you could go to Portland out in that backwater with no distractions there and ball out.
Yeah. If you don't shut up now, innit, for DeAndre?
Yeah.
For sure.
Put up or shut up.
Yeah. I think kind of touching on the DeAndre thing, because obviously I'm a Phoenix Suns fan, so I've seen a lot of DeAndre Ayton since he come into the league. I think it just got to the point where the relationship was untenable, and I think it was probably in the end the best for both parties, really, because I think players were getting annoyed at Ayton, I think, and about what they thought was his lack of effort or other things. So I wish him the best, because I've always been me and you have always been Ayton supporters, haven't we, bro? I thought he was a very good player, but. I think it come to the point where, like Paul and Booker and I think KD for a little bit last season, where they were like, this guy's not for us kind of thing. And so, they've traded for a guy, Nurkic, who, on and off last 2 or 3 years hasn't really played a lot of games. So it's a worry. It's a worry for my Suns. I'm not going to lie.
But only injury wise. And
as a player, I do like him. Nurkic, he's a decent player for sure.
He might be exactly. He might be the complementary piece that you need because
definitely
of his skill set. One, and then two, he won't have the pressure he had on him in Portland to be that number 2 or number 3
to be that guy.
After Damian Lillard in Phoenix, he could be the Tayshaun Prince that you need.
Yeah, absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it was like you've got Beal, Booker, and KD, which was another off-season move that the Suns made. Getting Beal. So I mean, Nurkic, it's just like just be ready and get the ball when's needed, like kind of thing, innit? You know
Rebound, and
I mean. I can't believe the Suns, man. Booker's the only one left from when we went to finals 2 years ago, bro. Like
they are
the only one left. It's literally, we've overhauled the entire team, man. It's things have moved fast, bro.
You ready for hot take number 2?
Oh, mate, I'm ready all day. Let's go.
Okay, hot take number 2. The Phoenix Suns don't make the conference finals.
Really? Okay.
The Phoenix Suns.
Philosopher's coming here. He's shooting shots, bro. This is what happens at the Shooters Lounge, man. This is what happens, mate.
And the reason why is exactly because of that point you just made. Devin Booker is the only piece left from your finals run. It takes at least a year.
Yeah.
In a decent conference. Far less the conference that is the West.
And it is stacked, isn't it, bro, again?
There you go. So, though you have an NBA champion, league MVP, 2-time finals MVP, and Kevin Durant, top 75 player, of course. Though you have the same Devin Booker who's been to the finals, walked the road before, and looks to have improved dramatically over the last season than he did in the finals here, especially on defense. Another one that gets slighted on defense unfairly, in my opinion. Though you have a Bradley Beal who is waiting for his shine, who has been out there plugging the hole in Washington.
And I know Bradley Beal hasn't been on a good team for like 4 years, mate.
Forever. No, forever.
Well,
forever.
maybe. Yeah.
No, forever. For the best time Bradley Beal played was when they used to compare who was the better guard tandem between the same Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum and John Wall and Bradley Beal. Who was the better of those two? Because that Washington Wizards team, I believe, was the last one that went to the playoffs and won a round. I could be wrong.
Possibly. That sounds about right. Speaking of coming off the bench, we have a late addition coming on, talking end of the bench. Here he is, my former host of the End of the Bench show. George, what's happening, bro? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, good, man. Feels good to be back, gentlemen.
We're back, baby. When you thought we were gone, we're back. We're back.
Yeah.
How we doing,
What's
man?
up, George?
Yeah, not bad. The only issue is, since the last time you saw me on this old StreamYard app, I've had a bit of an issue with my laptop, so it's a phone job for the foreseeable until I can get that seen to.
That's all right. It's a phone job for me too because the tablet right now is on daddy duty.
I've got better things to do, man.
Me. I'm going to try and prop mine up so I'm not just like shaking the whole time. There we go.
All right.
That's a bit better.
Almost as if you're not prepared, George. That's
it's almost as I've just got in. So yeah, very swift into action, mate.
Appreciate you coming down, bro. Welcome to the Shooters Lounge.
Thank you very much.
We're just talking about some of the off-season moves, bro. What are your thoughts on the Dame Lillard trade? Are you, as a Boston Celtics fan, are you worried about Dame linking up?
He's loving it. He's loving it.
I was until the Milwaukee Bucks by proxy were kind enough to give us Drew Holiday.
That's why he's loving it. He's loving it.
Yeah.
So I'm not. I'm neutral on this one. I think it makes them, obviously, offensively, they're going to be a nightmare. Like, as a neutral, it is something that I'm excited to see. Like we've always said, like between ourselves in the past, if Giannis had a true sort of someone to play and someone who can just to have that pick and roll with someone like Dame Lillard is good. Is what we've wanted to see for quite a while. So
yeah.
That aspect, yeah, but defensively, if it's going to be Grayson Allen and Dame Lillard, they are going to get torched in the backcourt on defense. I don't care what tell me.
Why? Torched by who? Torched by who? Let's talk about it. In the backcourt, torched by who?
So if you're saying Dame Lillard and Dame and either Grayson Allen or Pat Connaughton. Pat is a good defender, right?
Thank you. I mean, I'm so glad you're correcting yourself. Let's go. Torched by who?
But Grayson Allen is not a good defender.
He's not a cone.
Well, he's on the Suns now, bro. He was in the trade, so he's
all right. No, never mind.
He's gone.
If it's Pat Connaughton, then yeah, okay. But it will get worse. It will get worse.
I actually don't think they start Pat. I actually think they start Chris Middleton at 2.
If that's the case,
I think they start Chris Middleton at 2, and they might do something ridiculous like starting Bobby Portis.
Yeah, I mean,
the Bucks are not suspect on defense. And like this, there's a narrative going around that because of Damian Lillard's acquisition, the Bucks are now suspect on defense. Brook Lopez, Zeus, Bobby Portis, Pat Connaughton. Let's listen. You should know. You're a Boston Celtic. You should know. Be careful.
But even in the city, like I said this when we got to like in between ourselves when Drew left, when he got traded away from the Bucks, and I stand by it, he was the second best player on that championship winning team.
Yeah, I'd have that.
Yeah,
I'd have that.
So that's still a big loss. It's still a big loss. So
100%.
even though they've got Dame back, and on the whole, like he's a better player, obviously.
What are you giving up if you're Milwaukee Bucks? If you're the Milwaukee Bucks, what are you giving up for Damian Lillard?
Yeah, you're going to give up pretty much everything apart from Giannis. However, how about this? I would have been far happier if I was the Bucks to trade away Chris Middleton than Drew Holiday.
I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, I think that's pretty safe to say.
I thought that was the obvious choice.
But Portland don't want that.
Well, no, but even so, like Chris Middleton, if he left the Bucks, he would just do what Jeremy Grant's done, pretty much, like an above average defender, streaky kind of scorer, same kind of profile as.
I don't even think he's above average defender. I think he's okay.
So I think Jeremy Grant and Chris Middleton, they've got similar profiles as players, and obviously Grant has gone on and just sort of dawdled around a few random.
I'll see you on that, Jordan, and say this: Grant is a better defender.
Yeah,
Chris is better on offense.
Mm.
He is, but I would still say that Grant is more consistent than Chris Middleton is. Even if
I don't know,
put up the 35, 40 plus games as often as Chris will, I still think he's consistency wise. I think he's probably a bit better
offensively.
Yeah,
Chris Middleton don't fall off that much, man.
I don't know. He's been injured on and off for 2 years, man. Chris.
That's
Middleton.
the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah, health might be an issue with with Middleton again, but if they can put it together, man, that 2-man game, as we said, Lillard and Giannis is going to be scary come playoff time, boys, isn't it?
Listen, Jordan is comfortable because in Boston, them damn leprechauns look very, very good in preseason.
Making moves, bro. What did you think of Celtics off-season moves?
As usual, just out of nowhere. Brad Stevens.
God.
He's moved quick though, hasn't he? When an opportunity's come up, unlike this is what we were saying. Like when me and John were talking about it, we said, well, you've not won the trade. We're not in that Danny Ainge era anymore, where he was so preoccupied on ensuring that we won the trade, we missed out on players. Instead, Brad Stevens has just got there. He's been given one job to do, and that is get us in the best winning opportunity right now. We don't want to wait another 4 or 5 years. We want to do it now. So instead of being so concerned with winning trades and making sure we don't lose, he's sacrificing that to make sure that we're landing the players that we're going to need to take us to promised land. One question back to you though, gents, is because I had a discussion with someone and I completely disagree. I think they're very different players. Is Drew Holiday just Marcus Smart with a slightly better shooting?
Garbage. Yeah. That's a garbage tip.
Thank you for validifying my opinion on that one.
The reason why I hate the fact that Drew is in Boston is because it's an absolute upgrade to Marcus Smart. I don't. 100%. And you know how I raved about Marcus Smart deserving to win the Defensive Player of the Year when he did. You know we had that on end of the bench. I think he deserved to win Defensive Player of the Year. But Marcus Smart ain't no Drew Holiday. He is no Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday ran the offense for the Bucks. One of the reasons the Bucks won the year they won against the Suns. Sorry, Matt. Why do I always do this to you? So I'm sorry.
But always bringing it up, bro. Always bringing it up, man.
It's one of the changes that happened in that finals was that Drew started to dictate the pace a lot more. People missed it because Giannis then got a greater opportunity to be a bully from 15 feet in because Drew maintained the pace from half court in the half court sets. You know what I mean? That's something that Marcus Smart never gave you in Boston. You have complained about it multiple times, Jordan, as other Boston fans have as well, which is also why Derek White was such a revelation last season, and Malcolm Brogdon off the bench because Marcus Smart wasn't giving you what you needed from your guard, from your premier point guard, or from even an off guard. Even though He's good. He's very good on defense. Giroud is also immaculate on defense, and he's going to give you that. So rubbish them claims from them people talking about it's just Marcus Smart with a slightly better shooter. Nonsense.
I think he answered your question there, bro.
Yeah. Any views, mate?
I think pretty much the Philosopher's kind of covered that one out, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, you're actually getting a point guard now, aren't you? Which is always an upgrade, mate. I was never a Marcus Smart fan in terms of a point guard, but you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I'm on record about that one, mate. But we spoke about that plenty of times, multiple times, man. But we'll have to move on, guys. I think next thing we're gonna something that's come during the. Hang on, let me get the right one up. NBA in-season tournament was announced during the off-season, so this is something new that's come into the regular season this time around. Whether it will ever happen again after this year, who knows? We'll have to find out. It's going to be happening through the whole month of November. Every team is taking part. They've been put into groups. These games are going to be taking place on the Tuesdays and Fridays during November. And then we go into like a knockout phase where the top teams from each group and 2 wild cards will be going then into a knockout round. And then the final is in Las Vegas at the beginning of December. So I suppose the question is, gents, are you going to be watching the NBA in-season tournament? And do you think it'll work? George, I'll shout it to you, bro. What are your thoughts, mate, on the in-season tournament?
So whoever wins the tournament is going to make history, right? They are going to be the first and last ever winner in the season tournament. I guarantee you.
They win the NBA Cup. There is a trophy and everything. You're not feeling this, bro.
This is essentially.
That's hot take number 3. That's hot take number 3 now.
Being born out of. I said this at the time. I don't think I said it to any of you guys, but I
just put the groups up while you're talking, bro. Sorry, carry on.
Just to show how interested I am in this. This is the first time I'm seeing these groups. But I just think it's one of those like novelties, a bit like in football. And for any American viewers watching, I know Ken. Well, that's that way on. Football, I mean actual football. Where it's, there's different things that go on there, and like, they've got the Champions League, and with like football or soccer grown in the US as it has. I actually do think they've taken some sort of inspiration from that and thought, let's make it like a little competitive tournament to stop people from disengaging with such a long season.
That's it.
Then to counter that, why are you putting it in November? It seems a bit close to the start of the season. I would have thought they would have had it a little bit later on than that. But anyway, what will happen is everyone's going to complain that there's too many injuries. Players are going to get injured in it. Teams are going to start crap lineups. It's basically a very glorified summer league that's taking place mid-season. It'll give opportunities to guys that maybe don't get played as often, which could in turn attract bigger rosters in the future if it does carry on. But I'm pretty sure this is going to flame out. It's like, in fact, to go back to football again, Matt, it is like the Nations League. Just a tournament that nobody cares about.
Absolutely. Yeah, good comparison.
That's excellent comparison.
Yeah. So that's my time. But yeah, we'll see. Obviously, I'm not as you can tell. So
you're telling me there's a chance, George? Not so much. Philosopher, do you echo Jordan's point, mate, or
Jordan's comparison? I literally there's no beating that actually. For those of us that watch football, yes, I agree with Jordan. For all our American viewers, as much as I like American football, just like the Nation League, like the boy don't really care who win it. The boy don't really watch it unless you're bored or you're home and a match is on and you want to watch some football. Nobody don't check stats. Nobody don't, you know what I mean? Yeah. See like who's the best player in it. No, I don't see I don't see. I'm particularly pissed because Jordan, you might not be in this bracket, but me and you are definitely in this bracket, Matt. Where we're purists. We like the league. We've watched the league long enough to maintain a purist view. I am one of them. I'm all for innovation and evolution of sport and what's not. Yeah. This is not the answer. The NBA is clearly viewer grabbing. You know, they rating, they're looking for ratings, which in they have to. You know what I mean? I think the complaint that it's grueling, the season is long, it's boring. The most watched sport in America is still baseball. And baseball play 125 games.
Over NFL?
Yeah. I don't know how or why, but by statistically they say it's baseball. And I don't know why either, because if I was American, it'd be basketball for me, NFL too, of course. But you know what I mean? And I'm sure that a lot of Americans feel the exact same way. But I know for sure basketball is like literally number 3 at best, because still got a lot of people like hockey as well. So like this is an attempt to and again you've got this topic coming up as well, Matt. But a lot of it is the fault of the players too, because I come from an era where Michael Jordan played 82 games a season. Magic, Larry, all them man, Sean Kemp, Gary GP, Reggie Miller, come all the way to Kobe, God rest him. Yeah? Played 82 games a season. Shot 80, like the dream. We played 82 games in the season. Because of the whole load management and stuff, no players, you know, and yes, it's a great attribute to saving your body and managing your body and what's not. You're a professional athlete, as far as I'm concerned. You fit play. You fit play. And yes, a back-to-back could be grueling, but you can't miss both games. Talking about load management, that's trash. And because of that, if we've got a team and the star players are Jordan, Matt, and Adam, you know what I mean? Like, and 2 out of that 3 are resting because we're playing the Pistons, who's the worst team in the league in Detroit. What about Lil Jonathan that come to the Palace just to watch Adam, Matt, and Jordan play? And guess what? Because we playing the Pistons and Adam and Jordan are playing, Matt, they say, man, I can sit out too. That's the kind of shit that's happening. And because of that, the viewership is going down. So the NBA gonna be looking at that, which they have been, by the way. You know what I mean? Instead of creating these in-season tournaments, I am sorry, Jordan, you have more disdain than I do about it. I'm gonna watch it, but I don't see nothing coming out of it that couldn't be achieved with regular season games. I don't care if we was playing in October or April. Nobody was missing the Bulls Pacers in the 90s, or the Bulls Knicks, or the Rockets Jazz, or those were the top teams. Even the bottom teams, the bottom feeders like the Nuggets, Sonics, and things like that, you can still see a Dikembe versus Sean Kemp randomly. You know what I mean? We gotta address it from the player's point of view. That's my position, because Jordan landed hot take already. It will be the first and last. It's just like the Nations League. So I don't see it. I don't see it coming, man.
Yeah. I think just looking at some of the comments, guys, Ken at the Green Base podcast, nobody cares much about the early part of the regular season. People check in after All-Star break, which is actually true. Obviously, us guys are crazy people and we watch it regardless. But I think the casuals, I think that's what the NBA are trying to do, like you guys have said, haven't you? The casuals, they're trying to bring the casuals in, aren't they, earlier than what they would do.
And it will feel spectacularly.
Yeah, I mean, it might fail, but at least Silver's open to ideas and he's not kind of rigid and no, we don't do that. We don't, at least he's trying stuff. Maybe it's a one and done thing, but at least you've tried something to bring people in.
The play-in tournament wasn't one and done. We doing the playing now.
Well, do people enjoy the playing? I think they do, don't they?
Because it means something.
Because that's the difference. And unless you want to go for a weekend in Vegas in early December, then
before, which is again, ready in October, November, Christmas games. Green Bay is talking about nobody checking in before the All-Star game. Christmas games was a big thing.
Yeah,
a big thing. Whoever playing on Christmas, and Stars ain't missing that. You know what I mean? Like, so people watching, like, and that's just December.
They announced the Christmas games before they announced the first games of the season.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, but NBA own Christmas Day, don't they? They NBA's always on Christmas Day. That's a thing, isn't it? So maybe that's a lot to do with it, bro. I'm not sure.
It's the players, man. It's the players, because you could be playing the top teams right now, Denver, and the bottom team, let's say Orlando. Yeah, Denver and Orlando could be playing deep in November, and you get a top duel between Aaron Gordon, who's a former Magic, and Paulo Banchero, and everybody be talking about that damn game, but nobody ain't gonna see it now because nobody ain't tuning in, because more than likely Aaron Gordon can sit, and I ain't playing against Orlando because we can probably watch them anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jokic is one of the few, Zeus as well, one of the few top stars right now, who do not sit, who play all their games, which is why they have all the highlights.
Giannis missed a few last season, bro. He missed quite a few last season.
Why though?
He was sitting games last season. I'm telling you, it happened at least 5 or 6 times where he just didn't play and there was no reason.
But why? I think you need to do a research on that, Mr. Boston.
Well, I can remember watching a back-to-back where he missed the first one and played in the second. So
Remember Zeus was nursing injury through last season though.
Yeah, maybe.
Thank you. Good. No, I'm telling you, I'm asking. Telling you. I'm not just playing. Zeus playing.
On the whole in-season tournament thing, I will give it a watch. I will just to see how it sort of unfolds. But this is,
I mean, we're going to watch it regardless, bro, aren't we? We say this isn't going to work, but we're going to watch it anyway.
More of a it's like that guy, he's like, we're gonna do it anyway.
That's a good comment. That's there now, though.
Well,
Luke, shout out to Luke, man. Cheers for propping in, bro. Give me the in-season tournament over the All-Star weekend all day. So
he does have a point there, though. I will back down and say it.
The All-Stars definitely been on the decline the last few years, guys, hasn't it? So
again, the damn players. Again, listen. I love this sport too much to accept the trash.
Man, we're gonna have a get off my lawn speech from Philosopher by the end of this podcast. I swear, it's happening. It's gonna happen, mate. It's mate. This didn't happen in my day.
The last thing I've got to add to this whole debate is that we know it's going to come at some point that Vegas get a team. Obviously, it's the worst kept secret. And I think this is a massive show of because the finals in Vegas and they're going to make a big spectacle out of it. This is basically them saying this team is going to come, and it is going to come very soon, pretty much as soon as they can possibly make it happen.
Yeah, they'll need another team as well, won't they? I think to even.
I mean, there's talks. I know we've spoken in the past that they may move the Grizzlies. It's a possibility that the Grizzlies get moved over to the East. And jig it up and give Seattle.
But we're in the East. They can't move to the East as Vancouver. Vancouver is West Canada.
The reason is it's because I had a discussion with someone a while ago. I mean, Ken might be more, probably will be more clued in about this than I am. But I think to do with the geography of Memphis, it actually falls in the same time zone as some Eastern Conference teams. So it would be feasible for them to be in the Eastern
Conference. Well, suppose New Orleans when they started, New Orleans was in the East still. A lot of people don't remember that. When they first moved from Charlotte to New Orleans to become New Orleans Hornets, they were still in the East. And then they moved to the West I think the season
Ken
after.
Tennessee's Central Time Zone, so it should be in the East, not the West.
Yeah.
Which is Memphis, Tennessee.
Cheers for that, Ken. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, big up.
So yeah, in theory, you could move them and then just drop Vancouver. Then you could drop Vegas and Seattle both into the West. Then.
Move one and then two new ones in. Yeah, possibly.
Seattle needs to come back for sure.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely going to happen, guys. So I think but as we said in the end of the day, us guys are going to watch it anyway, see how it pans out. Is it going to have that March Madness feel? I doubt it. Don't think it's
because it doesn't mean anything.
Well, I make money, mate. You know, players that there'll be a bit of money for the winners. More goes the victor goes the spoils. I don't know.
So wherever James Harden end up, if he end up anywhere, he could become the MVP of Vegas, and then all the strippers well paid too, right?
He's already the MVP of Vegas, bro. I think that's already done. But this one's got the Pelicans winning it all over, hasn't it, guys? First winners NBA Cup. I think let them win something. Bless them. They've been through enough. But moving on, guys. I think this guy always comes up. Seems to every time we do a show over the years. There always seems to be the James Harden saga. And unfortunately, it's something we've got to cover again.
Why? It's the first one. It's the first one, man.
I know, man. Couldn't let it pass us by, bro. Couldn't let us pass it by. But again, Harden is unhappy, wants to be traded again, called Daryl Morey a liar, and I'll never play for the Sixers again. And then this week he turns up to training camp, probably because he doesn't get fined. Philosopher, is James Harden going to play again for Philadelphia this season?
I actually don't know.
Very good answer. Well done.
I've checked. I've been trying to follow Wendy. You know, the usual sorts, the usual suspects: Wendy, Woj, Stephen A. I actually trying to follow the big ones on purpose, and then some other guys like Dreamers Pro and them boys. Like, I actually don't know, because who knows with James Harden? James Harden wants out of where he's playing again.
In other news, James Harden knows, bro.
in other news, water still wet. You know what I mean? Like, James Harden's unhappy where he's playing and wants to move. In other news, water still wet. I mean, what is wrong with you?
Another year, another Harden saga, mate.
I call this. Ken would know this. Big up, Ken, and y'all know this tall now because we've been together on podcasts now. What, 3 seasons? Maybe 3 seasons.
I think so. Yeah.
But that. Y'all know me well on James Harden. He will and should win nothing when it comes to the NBA. Does not deserve it. I don't business. Including the mad people that dare to call him a top 5 shooting guard ever in the NBA. Nonsense. As if Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, Clyde Drexler, Elgin was a small forward. Jerry West with Dominique was a small forward too. But still, and some of them great Celtics that I know Jordan know tall now because he support that leprechaun damn team. Like Sam Jones and them boys. But James Harden is an embarrassment. He does it over and over and over again. And he's been given everything. Every single time. In Houston, he wanted his coach. Got it. He wanted his players that could stand up and watch him dribble, according to Charles Barkley, and then pass it when he get into trouble, when he decide to go to the lane and 5 defenders cramping, and then pass it off so that he can have shooters that would actually hit a shot. He got that. When he wanted another premier guard, he got that in Houston twice because he had Russell Westbrook and he had Chris Paul. He then moaned his way out of there, and goes to Brooklyn. oh, we can do it all now because guess what? This is the best offensive lineup ever. He craps on that. Moves again, goes to Philly because he will be the perfect offset to the best big man in the league. Well, guess what? Denver showed you no. Milwaukee showed you no. Embiid is at best the third best big man in the league, if you're calling Zeus a big man. But neither here or there. Cool, fine, no problem. But you also now want out of that. You should go and play in Taiwan with Dwight Howard. That's what you should do, James Harden.
Oh, I knew we were going to get him, Jordan. I knew we were going to get him. There's nothing quite like a philosopher NBA rant.
Sorry.
What more is it to say?
I don't know because he's the type that would then turn up and play for Philly in a fat suit just to prove a point and drop 40. You know what I mean? Just to prove a point, and then come back without the fat suit and score 18. You know what I mean? And talk about he want to move. You know what I mean? But yet, all off season, I'll never play for Philly again. Shut up! You know, man, go away.
George, any thoughts on the James Harden saga strike? I don't know. What is it? 4, 5, version 5 now? I don't know.
Well, I love it because this time I love it, and I think you both know exactly why I love it because it's
Philly,
my favorite team. So,
dude, I so wanted AB on this show today. Unfortunately, couldn't make it. Oh, mate, I so wish AB had been on this show today because I really want to hear what he's got to say about this. But yeah.
Same.
Carry on.
I mean, you know, realistically, it is embarrassing. You know, it's become now embarrassing for the 76ers just by association, really. So now they're also looking a bit embarrassing, like they've not got a handle on their own players, which doesn't give much faith to anyone that may be wanting a trade or anything like that, because I want to go and work for an organisation.
Yeah,
I actually love that from Ken. That would be hilarious.
What a situation that would be.
I listen. I would feel for two people. Jared Jackson Jr. does not deserve that.
Yeah.
Jared Jackson Jr. and Derrick Rose does not deserve that.
Derrick Rose definitely doesn't deserve that, man. That man's been through enough.
but James Harden Jordan, but James Harden with Ja Morant, Stephen Adams, who else? Marcus Smart.
Oh my goodness.
It would have been great if they had gone back. What's his face? That's gone to Houston now.
Brooks.
The issue for me, though, here is we've now gone from who does James Harden want to play with to who wants to play with James Harden. Because, all jokes aside, if you're a star player on a team or you're a team that has no star player, you're either going to go to somewhere that's got a young team. They're not going to want that kind of Obviously, he's been twerking for a return to Houston for a little while as well. He's they're not going to want him back. They will not want him back. The way they're set up now, they absolutely do not want anything to do with James Harden. And it'll be the same for like all the teams that have got a young core that they're trying to sort of nurse into star players. And likewise, if you're a star player on a team, I mean, literally any team that comes to mind when I'm talking about star players, they will not want to play with James Harden. So the only way it's going to happen is by force, which will then create volume 6 for next off season when he's gone through and pissed off another star player and another organisation. But I think it was quite obvious from quite early on into this situation in Philadelphia that him and Joel Embiid did not like each other. I think it was all smoke and mirrors where it was like, oh, James is working on this and things like that. it sounded very. I always thought it sounded forced when they were making these comments about each other. It didn't feel like a natural, like, oh yeah, he's been killing it doing this. It was more like, oh, he said he was going to work on this, and now he's working. It was really matter of fact, as if someone had told him to say it.
You've made me think about that now, for real.
I just got a feeling they just didn't get on.
Okay.
But, Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons didn't get on, and they were still not bad together. But, of course, not good enough. And now it's the second Philadelphia 76ers point guard in as many seasons that's just, like, completely shit the bed. I know you asked Adam, do you think he'll play for the 76ers ever again?
Yeah.
The difference between him and Ben Simmons is that he won't care if all the fans hate him. He'll still go out there and play.
Yeah.
But
yes,
that will be one interesting atmosphere.
Wow, because Philly.
Yeah.
Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Philly. Philly don't suffer fools. They do not.
They voice their displeasure if they have some. I think it goes without saying.
Even if he's available, I think the coach just wouldn't use him.
Did anyone hear Allen Iverson's take on it?
Nah.
No, sir. No.
I have to look back for it. I have to look. But I heard it on. It was random. He was talking to Steven Jackson, or the Smoke. Yeah. And he was like, "Man, I know you Philly that true and true. What y'all gonna do about James?" Allen Iverson was like, "Man, I don't know if the people want to see him again." He did the people wrong, and I don't want to say nothing more on that. If Allen Iverson could say that, because as much as a bad boy Allen Iverson was, Allen Iverson never not showed up. Not show up.
Yeah, they loved him as well, didn't they? They'll love him forever, won't they?
Forever, and that's the Philly way. That's the Philly way. That's why Ben Simmons hurt them so much, because you can't not put in effort. You can't. Okay, I'll go this far. James Harden, Russell Westbrook could not be in James Harden's situation. If Russell Westbrook was in James Harden's situation, Philly would love him, because Russell Westbrook always showing up for work. Regardless,
say what you want about Russ, man.
Say what you want. Say what you want. So James, Volume 6, Jordan.
Well, the rumor is he wants to get traded to the Clippers, and I bet you Russ goes, "Fuck if he's coming here, mate. I'm not dealing with that guy again, man. I've had him twice already." I'm like, no.
If Russell Westbrook was to be traded for James Harden, the Sixers will make some noise.
Well, that'd be interesting. Another Harden Russ trade. They've already been traded before. So.
But one thing I will say: do you think Paul George is going to stand for that?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I don't think he'll be able to go to the Clippers and start doing all that. But I think Jerry West's still there, isn't he? I think.
Yeah, he is.
With Kawhi, I don't think Kawhi would really care, to be honest. He's just all in his own little world. I don't think he would give one.
But the Clippers, the thing is, the Clippers don't fit James' mantra anyway.
No.
The Clippers, if you're talking basketball objectively now, James Harden's mantra, the Clippers don't fit that.
No.
So even with that rumor, that doesn't make sense to me.
The rumor was he wanted to go to Houston, like George said, but obviously Houston have got a new coach now, and your old boy George. I can't remember his name now. It's lost.
Come on, man.
Udoka, of course. Sorry, man. It's me age, bro. I keep forgetting.
Ume.
And apparently Udoka said, "I don't want that guy here, man.
Straight.
I don't want him here, mate.
Straight.
I don't want him around these young kids, mate. No way."
Ume has exactly a blank slate with a lot of promising youngsters. Nah. You put that's putting a cockamamie hens.
Absolutely. Well, we'll have to see what happens with the James Harden saga Part 6. I'm sure there'll be a 7, 8, 9, 10 or something by the time it's all said and done.
I hope to hell not. Go Taiwan. Taiwan.
This is a nice segue, guys, into our last topic of the day, where, Harden wants to be traded. They gives them a list of teams. Lillard wanted to be traded. I only want to be traded to Miami. Beal was a little bit different because he got a no trade clause, so he could literally decide where his next team was. So when did we get to this point where players who want to be traded, who are in contract with teams, but they come out and say, "Oh, I want to be traded, but I only want to go to here, here, and here"? When did you think we kind of got to this point where this is what the superstar players are doing? Philosopher, do you want to kick us off with that, man? Any thoughts on that one? Sorry to put you on the spot there.
That's right. No, I was ready. I just thought you'd go to George first. So a lot of people attribute player power movement or the player power era to the summer when we heard the speech, "I'm going to take my talents to South Beach."
Yeah.
That is a fallacy. That's not when it started. Because my second favorite player ever is Kobe Bean Bryant. I can remember when Kobe told Jerry West and Mitch Kupchak, "Yeah, it's either him or me. Look for trades for me. Yeah, if you keep any big fella, look." And that was mid 2000s. Yeah, so I think it really started to evolve because players always not demanded but requested a trade, whereas now is a demand. Now is like, "Yeah, move me," because especially with a player with star power, because of what that player brings for the franchise. Again, this is why I'm moaning at things like the in-season tournament and people talking about nobody watching the games, just statistically, before the All-Star game and so on and so forth, because of the mentality of the stars. The stars don't care as much until it mattered. Yeah? Whereas before, stars cared from tip, from the word go. We run in full tilt. And we appreciate the people that come and make us stars, which are the fans, whether you watch at home or you go to the games. Mm-hmm. That being said, it then blew up. So from mid 2000s maybe to the same summer of when LeBron said, "Yeah, I'm taking my talents to South Beach." But a lot of people seem to forget. Ray Allen also asked for a trade out of Seattle when he moved to Boston. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people forget that. A lot of people forget. There's another one. Latrell Sprewell asked for a move out of New York when he moved to Minnesota. There's some history for folks. So though it was not as glamorized as now, because obviously then with the effects of social media, the instant news we get in, again, the star power being greater than the management power. And mind you, I think it's good that players have as much power as management because it's less slavery. Because what franchises used to literally treat players like, we can move you to whoever, wherever, whenever we want.
Yeah.
To which they still try to do, for instance, with Dame Lillard and the Miami saga. He wanted Miami and Portland, ensuring he didn't get his way. Paul George twice wanting Los Angeles Lakers and not getting his way. The same Kawhi wanting I think, can't remember if he wanted the Lakers or if he wanted the Clippers. It might have been the Clippers he originally wanted. But like they're sending him all the way to Toronto and so on and so forth. It's still it's more glamorized now, but I like the fact that it's equal. It's equal, but it didn't start where everybody thinks it started.
No, that's fair enough, mate. Yeah. Ken has just said that player power era is a fallacy. It's a very small percentage that have the pull to go where they want. Not even Dame have that, which he is correct, because Portland's So Portland stood fast, didn't they? And they said, we're gonna get the best offer we can, and ended up being Milwaukee. Whether you think it was better than what the offer they got for Miami,
it was
another. I think
it was
so in the end. George, and any thoughts on this one, bro?
I'm going to take bits of what Adam and Ken have both said, because I think Ken makes a very good point there. But also the fact that Adam said that people think it started with LeBron, and yeah, I agree that's not true. It's been occurring. Or you can look all the way back to Wilt Chamberlain.
Yes,
he was arguably the first one that was like, no, I want to get moved to LA because. Like the bottom line is, he wanted to sleep with white women, and it wasn't. He's been open about that, bro.
Listen, watch your Boston mouth on that Los Angeles Laker grit, sir. Sir.
So the story is, and this has come directly from Wilt Chamberlain, that it was not accepted in Philadelphia, but in LA, because LA was like the up and coming city. That's why he wanted to go to LA.
Yeah, it was open.
I think Lou Alcindor said that he wanted to be traded from Milwaukee in the end to go to LA, didn't he, as well? So yeah,
and that was the same thing because obviously with the way his religion and things were going, he was already like going down that, and he said it's the same thing. It was more accepted in LA for you to be Muslim than it is in Milwaukee, and that was a similar reason that he wanted to move there. So all the way back there, it was happening all the way back, way back when in the 60s and the 70s when those two were knocking about, and that was
your legend famously also said, William Russell the Great, if I wanted easy, I would move to LA. When they were talking about him and the civil rights movement and blah blah blah.
So it goes, there is a long and charted history of it, but like Ken has said, it is really only the star players. Like you would not get. I'm just going to use this as an example because he's been brought up weirdly a couple of times already. If Aaron Gordon turned around and was like, "I want to get traded and I want to get traded to here," he's going to get laughed out the building.
They'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
But like with certain players like LeBron, he has that status where he can be like, I'm going to go here, and you're going to make it happen for me, essentially. And that's the way it seemed to trend. I mean, like KD as well did the same thing.
KD, correct.
He wanted to go to the Nets, and that happened. But
and the Suns.
Yeah, true, very true.
But it's few and far between. It's sometimes it happens by accident. So, like, when Jimmy left the Bulls, for example, and he ended up in Miami, like, I'm pretty sure that was probably eventually ended up in Miami from the Sixers, rather. Sorry.
Yeah. And the Wolves. Wolves first.
Yeah.
But when he actually said, "No, I want to get traded," and he wanted to go to Miami, and it did happen. And I think even from the Bulls, they were probably more inclined to trade him to the Sixers, where he did originally want to be, because they wanted to get rid of him.
No, but that's exactly why. When the Bulls traded him to the Wolves, thinking that he will wither and die, and traded him for Zach LaVine, and I can't even remember who else. But I can remember being very annoyed at that trade because y'all know I love me some Zach. So I remember being very annoyed at that trade, and the Wolves. Were a young up-and-coming team. That was a Wolves team with Jeff Teague, Zach LaVine, Andrew Wiggins, that donkey, Karl Anthony Towns. You know what I mean? So it was up-and-coming. Yeah. But I get what you mean. Like they thought trading Jimmy B to the Wolves, he would have withered and died. He went there, made them a playoff team. Bang. You know what I mean? Then the Wolves kind of mistreat him, and my man left and went to the Sixers. Bang, make noise there, and then the Sixers fumbled that bag, and Pat Riley was like, "I'll have me some of that."
Yeah, I like this guy. This is my guy. Yeah, two finals.
So I mean, you can say that it's essentially occurred since the dawn of time, pretty much since the league was in its infancy. It's always been a factor. But there is a very select group of players that really do have the ability to make it happen. And even then, it doesn't always happen. Obviously, Dame's one of the biggest stars in this league, and even he did not get what he wanted to.
Remember me mentioning Kobe just now? When Kobe literally put that at LA, Jerry West went to Shaq and was like, "Big fella, listen." Or if it wasn't Jerry West, actually no, I lied. It was probably Dr. Buss.
Probably Dr.
I went to Shaq and I was like, "Listen, big fella, I picking youth. I picking youth.
Get the step."
Kobe and traded Shaq, and that was a Shaq on the verge of coming down off of his prime, because then there's a Shaq that went to Miami and won. You know what I mean? So a lot of people, I can remember, not Mike. I can remember a lot of people saying that LA was stupid. A lot of people booing the Lakers, booing Kobe, and stuff like that. You know, but then, you know, so player power, it still has its. That's why I don't think it's a complete fallacy. But I understand Ken's point, and agree with it to a certain extent.
I think some of the players sometimes misunderstand just how much clout they've got or how little clout they've got.
Yes,
like you say, it's like certain players are like, I don't think you've got that kind of leverage, but you know,
Dylan Brooks talked his way into people's conversations, and they thought that by somehow doing that the Memphis Grizzlies weren't going to put out the statement that they did. Under no circumstances. That shows you how little power you have.
Still got 86 mil from somebody.
You still get 86 mil from the same Ume Udoka. Oh my gosh.
So he's got paid either way. Maybe not in Memphis, but he got paid somewhere else, bro. There we go. So that's all the time we have for then, gents. But before we go, do you want to give yourself a shout out where people can find you on socials? Philosophy, can you remember your socials this time?
Yes, sir. Philosopher 005 on what used to be Twitter and is now X. Give me a shout out there, or on Instagram, Jean-Marc_Maximus. Look out for Manon. It's coming. I promise. It's coming.
Manon. Hey, make no promises now, man.
It's coming.
Make it happen, dude. Make it happen, bro. George, do you want to send a shout out, bro, or do you just?
Yeah, well, is this the same Manon podcast that's been in the works for like 12 years by this point?
Yeah, but that said same.
It's like waiting for the next Guns N' Roses album.
or Adele.
Well, yeah, you can find me on. It's still Twitter on my phone because I'm not even updating it to X yet. Shows how technologically advanced I am.
Oh wow! Okay.
I'm holding on to that little blue bird for as long as I can. So yeah, you can come find me on there. NBA_infamous. Generally just talking shite. So.
Very nice, mate. Very nice. It's good to see you both, man. I am Matt at Postal323. You can follow the Shooters Lounge also on the artist formerly known as Twitter at Shooters Lounge 3, and then the Shooters Lounge 3 on Instagram. You can check out our YouTube page, and also you can rewatch the podcast back on that, and also on X. And hopefully, when I find out how to do it, it's also going to be on Spotify. Hopefully, if I can work out how to do it. So yeah, like I say, guys, we're going to be coming back every 2 weeks. The next one will be just on the eve of the start of the season, so we're going to have a bumper season review where there'll be some hot takes, I think, and I think we're going to have to start thinking about who's going to win it all, guys. So we're looking forward to that in a couple of weeks. So I'll invite you back, guys, if you're willing participants.
Come on now. You always here ready for the lounge.
Always. Hey, man, it's like in the Shooters Lounge. It's nice, isn't it, in here, man? It's nice digs. Not bad. So, but thanks very much for everybody who's joined in, any comments and stuff. Really appreciate it, guys. So we will see you again in 2 weeks. Thanks very much.